So I'm here with Caro Rossi from ESNA. Thank you for being here. We're at the Prosus offices. They're a new kind of AI hub, and we're about to start an event about AI policy. Maybe let's start with a quick intro about you and ESNA.
Thank you, Yoram, for having me here. Thank you, everyone. I think we have collaborated a lot strongly also during this last year.
Yep.
In terms of ESNA, actually ESNA is an organization that is born with a political mandate. This means that we work for our ESNA members, which are actually nations of Europe, so countries. Our focus is policy, so
Yeah.
our core therefore is policy. And in my case, as Caro, I run the Department of Network and Strategy Initiatives. So it's a department that always is thinking what to do next in the future, focusing policy.
Yeah. Just to start with the basics, because ESNA stands for
Europe Startup Nation Alliance.
Alliance,
Yes.
yeah.
And we were born officially, I would say, 2021. And we have then strongly been operating in generating value for policymakers in terms of either platforms or strategic documentations,
Yeah.
which is one focus on my department specifically. And actually this year, we focus in generating volumes or documents in 5 building blocks to support the startup and scale-up EU strategy.
Okay. I don't know. Shall we just jump straight into the 28th regime? Because
Yeah, well, the 28 regime has been the big topic of this year for Europe. I think it's an incredible initiative if we make it work as Europeans. As ESNA, we did actually elaborate an official document. It's a volume which is called, which is actually focused in the 28 regime.
yeah,
So
which
propose.
some people might know of as EU Inc.
Some people may know as the EU Inc.
Basically the same idea.
It's the same idea. And what we did is that we tried to assess a legal framework where you can, as a founder, open and operate a company in Europe in an easier way. If someone will ask me, okay, but explain it simple, basically you can compare it to the US, in the case that in the US you have federal states, so each state compete with each other in topics such as taxation or labor law. So you have California, which basically in labor law is more strong.
Yep.
Then you have Texas, which you have some benefit tax. The idea is that Europe can operate more like a single market.
Yep.
So then that will provide us more competitiveness.
Yep.
And in that, we have strongly been working with our advisory board members, which are experts in different fields. Many of them are former Secretary of State, some of them are more in the legal area, and others are eventual founder of companies to build or to support this, let's say, what the Commission also is trying to assess.
Okay. All right. So, and has been your role, and what are you kind of doing behind the scenes? Can you take the viewers a little bit?
Yes, of course. I think that, this is a quality of my department is that, and I think of myself, I come from the, I'm a founder myself, I come from the tech world, so it's always asking how we can provide value. And the concept of value is what extra can we do? Yep. In the case of the 28 regime, we have a lot of experts talking about it, and there is a lot of information out there and a lot of insight which are super valuable.
Yep.
What we can do as ESNA is assess that or collect that information, understanding, and see where else can we, what else can we do that no one else is doing, or what our members need that maybe it doesn't come necessarily from the founder mindset or from investor mindset. So it doesn't necessarily come from the startup and tech ecosystem, but it comes from this policy mindset, which is different.
Yep.
And here, regarding our last launch of our last volume document of talent and entrepreneurial culture, we have a very, very important factor of Europe, which is this risk mindset. And this risk mindset, you can align it or it connects to all these different policy initiatives or this legal initiative, because we do, and I think you will agree with me, Yoram, we need to be more risk takers. Mm-hmm. We need to assess uncertainty in a different way as European, especially today. Yep. And in this, we are in Amsterdam, we are in AI Summit. Yep. What better place to see how we can manage this uncertainty that, for example, what happens with AI, which we don't even know, you know?
And we were talking before about this. I'm going to stick with the 28th regime, and you mentioned something also around kind of labor laws and how. Can you maybe quickly summarize where are we with the 28th regime? Where is it sitting at the moment? How is it being discussed? And you mentioned something also interesting around labor laws being in there or maybe not, and where that sits.
So first, I think no. I mean, at least we officially do not know if labor laws will be there or not.
No.
That's not something we know.
But maybe we can start with like where does it sit, because there have been declarations. What is happening now?
Yeah. However, it could happen eventually that you have, that you have employment rights in it.
Right.
Okay. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I think this is something that is under understanding and evaluation. I will talk about how can we connect it with talent. What do we have until now? We do have until now ESOP on the 20-year regime framework, which is a stock option for employees.
Yeah.
So it directly talks.
ESOP, like
ESOP, yes. That's on it. That's a topic that has been discussed. If you look even in the public opinion, it has been showcased sometimes as a relevant point. How to treat shares, our shares of people, equity, which in a way will be related to talent. However, what will happen specifically with the concept of employment right, at least I think we don't know exactly, but what we can do at the moment, if it is there or if it is not there, is to understand what would be the implication if we add that in a legal framework at a national level. And there I do think that if you ask anyone of Europe, the answer would be that probably we will have different answers from different countries, because the approach of employment rights are different in certain countries of Europe between other countries of Europe.
Let's say Germany versus Spain or something. Actually, it's kind of surprising now that over the last 10, 20 years, it's actually the southern countries that have become more, I would use the term progressive, in kind of making them a bit more flexible. Like Spain, for example.
Yes, I think here we can talk about if we do a benchmark. We constantly do benchmarks of best practices. For example, we try to understand what is the best practice regarding, tax benefit for angel investors, for example, or possible policies that support pension funds to actually invest in risk. And in that sense, I agree with you that we have cases at Spain, which they actually have a startup law, which they actually have a taxonomy of a startup, that they have a definition, and the law covers many fields, not just a support of the founder, but also supporting the investor. But then also you have the Baltics. So the Baltics are an excellent example of how fast a nation can move when they want to actually disrupt, when they want to talk about innovation. So Estonia, with the e-Resident program and with the facility that it provides to international talent, and then we go back to talent, it's amazing. So I think Europe as a whole has done a lot. The process that we need to accelerate in 2026 is that we try to reach this consensus. So then we try to act more like a single market, which is the reason of existence of the 20-year regime.
How do you see kind of the next few years developing? This is my last question.
Yes, I like to say this always, and I think that for things to work in Europe and for us as European, we need to do things gradually. And I know this is not a word that we love as founders or as entrepreneurs, people that move fast. I think I move fast as well, also in personality. However, to reach this consensus, this unity, we need graduality, and it needs to be done piece by piece. Would this be the best thing? I don't know if it is the best thing. Would this be proper? I do think so, because we are so different at the same time between each other, because we have different cultures, that we need to understand this cultural clash, this entrepreneurial mindset thinking, how some countries, exactly as you say, are taking more risks than others, so then we reach always a consensus.
Okay. All right, great. So shall we go to the event, because I have a feeling that it's about to start.
Yes, and we need to go because we need to understand what else can we do and how to do it regarding AI, that I think is a big topic of the next 3 years. You ask me what is a big topic? AI for sure will be the big topic of the next 3 years, connected to the critical industries. So let's see.
Great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Yoram.